Sorry about that full start. This is Kelly from Travel Designers talking to Matt from Intrepid today. We're talking all things Intrepid with small group adventures, touring and activities. So welcome, Matt.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
It's very welcome. We're half an hour late because we had a delayed journey en route.
Traffic.
Lots of traffic. Right, Matt. So tell us just a little bit about Intrepid and why you think small group touring adventures are good for our client database.
Yeah, so so Intrepid, we pride ourselves in offering the most authentic style of group travel. So really getting off the beaten track, really getting to know the destination, really having that immersive experience. We can do this because we've got really, really small groups, and that's what I think people love about our style of travel. So our average group size is around 8 or 9 people. So it's like a little family traveling together. You get to know each other, and it's a family that like each other. I know some people don't want to travel with family members, but you're traveling with like-minded people. And you have your local leaders as well. So you have the local leader who travels with you the whole time, and their knowledge and what they add to the experience is just phenomenal, because when you're driving from A to B, they're just giving you so much information, pointing out things that are happening that if you were traveling by yourself or you were trying to follow a guidebook, like you wouldn't get that experience and wouldn't get that level of knowledge. So that's why I think people really do love our style of travel.
So when you say small group, it's anything from 6 to 8 above.
Yeah.
But up to...
So our maximum group size for our core product is generally 12. There's always exceptions to the rules here or there, but I think another thing about our trips is that we'll have 100% guaranteed departures.
Yeah.
Which I think just offers, so much security to someone, when you're booking flights and adding things together, that, if you book on, we'll run the trip with one person. It very, very, very rarely ever happens, but, we could have anything from, I've been on a trip before where we've only had 4 or 5 people, and then I've been on a trip where there was, maximum of 12. So, yeah. So
it's guaranteed to depart, which is really important, I think, in group travel. Now, you mentioned local leaders.
Yes.
That is just an amazing thing, I think, to have on holiday. So
you've
got Google Maps out.
Exactly.
You're not worrying about, your itinerary, where to go, because it's all pre-booked, but I guess there's some flexibility there. These people are locals on the ground. They have the local knowledge, the local expertise, which is invaluable, isn't it?
Yeah, and they've got so much pride as well. Like, they're from that destination. They really want to show it off. So they can also get you off the beaten track, get you into all these quirky little bars and restaurants. Yeah. And for example, my first Intrepid trip, I went to Turkey, and I did what every tourist does. I went to the port. Oh, that restaurant looks busy and stuff. And I went down there. The food was rubbish. The service was rubbish, and I paid way too much. Told my local leader, and he laughed. And throughout the whole trip, he was taking us to these local little bars and restaurants where the food was just amazing. Like, it was phenomenal, and it was so cheap. And you just were, you could feel yourself giving yourself to the local family that ran that restaurant. And it's things like that, you just wouldn't get from a guidebook or if you're part of a big group. So when you've got, sometimes you're traveling with 20, 30, 40, 50 people, it's very, very rigid. So you have to do what's on the itinerary, and the guide can't take you to a little local bar or restaurant because there's not enough space. So groups of 8 and those local leaders, it's really amazing.
So you're off the beaten track because they know where to go.
Exactly.
You're the locals, you're giving back to the community. We'll get onto that later. If you're responsible and sustainable travel. Now, for anyone out there who's reluctant on group travel, even though this is a small group, what would you say to someone who says, "Well, I don't really want to be herded around"?
Yeah, so all of our trips are designed for that type of customer. So if you're worried about being with a group and being stuck with the same people and being herded around,
is it?
No, exactly. So they're all designed so you have your excursions that are included. You'll have some optional excursions, and then also you'll have some free time so you can explore at your own leisure. You can go to local markets. You can just chill around the pool and have a beer. It's a holiday. So you have all those things to do as well. And that's where the local leaders, again, are phenomenal, because if you do have free time and you do want to do other things, they can book excursions locally and point you in the right direction for places to go. And on our trips, you've got the small groups, but you've got that security as well. You're being looked after by Intrepid, by our local leaders. So
great. The other thing I wanted to ask you was 7 continents. You cover all of them.
We do. So trips in over 140 countries all around the world, all 7 continents. We've got our own ship going to Antarctica, but we also work with all the ships that go to both Antarctica and the Arctic. So we've pretty much got a trip for absolutely everybody. So, I mean, people sometimes think of Intrepid and they hear the name Intrepid and we have adventure written on everything. And it can put some people off. You know, when I've done, you know, consumer events for yourselves, you know, people walk past and say, well, I'm not Intrepid, but adventure could be, means something completely different to everybody. So we've got trips which are really soft adventure. We have different physical ratings from 1 star through to 5 stars, 1 to 3 star. You know, my nan, who could easily do it, you know, it's really soft, it's sightseeing, it's getting to see the local cities, getting to see the local sites and local bits of culture, but it's really, really easy. Then you've got your 4-star physical rating, which could be an active trip like cycling, whitewater rafting, something a bit more adventurous where you do need higher level of fitness. And then for 5-star, you've got climbing Kilimanjaro, Everest Base Camp, Inca Trail, some of those bucket list things for people that like that sense of achievement on a holiday as well. So.
Lovely. And it's not always about roughing it, isn't it?
No.
We'll come on to the different categories in a second.
Okay.
But I know there's the comfort.
Yeah.
So we'll look at that too. Well, we might as well look at it now.
The of course.
Accommodation and the services, so your ratings.
Yeah, so we've got 3 different travel styles. So we've got basics, original and comfort. One thing I should probably point out as well is that Intrepid get a real mixture of ages. So I mentioned the physical ratings, but we've got children as young as 5 that can travel on our family tours, teenage specific itineraries, and then I was in Australia earlier this year and had a 77-year-old on my trip. So we get customers of all ages and they like different comfort levels. So our basics trip, you've got, is generally 2-star guest houses, private ensuite bathrooms, private rooms, clean, comfortable, and in the best touristic areas, but sort of no frills. You know, it's more.
But living where the locals live.
Yes, living, and you know you're in a local, you know, local property. So we try to avoid the big chains and give back to the local community. But on a basics trip, you can, for those people that do like to really get out there and do it, we've got overland camping safaris in Africa, for example. I've done one, it was phenomenal, sleeping under the stars, having a dinner around a fire, and we had elephants and giraffes just migrating through the Masai Mara and stuff, and it was just such a cool experience and something that when you do that type of trip, you really feel out there. And but that might not be for everyone. Some people don't want to go on holiday and stay in a tent or 2-star. So that's basics, but then we have original, which is more 3-star, still family-owned properties. I've just come back from Bali, and our properties had infinity pools overlooking the rice paddies. They were absolutely beautiful. So you do have that higher standard of accommodation. They don't all necessarily have pools, but you know, you've got bigger rooms, ensuite bathrooms, some more facilities, and you'll also get you know, more excursions included on an original trip as well. And then we have our comfort range, which is our 4-star boutique. So if you like your creature comforts and you still like the idea of having that local experience, having a small group, but you still want swimming pools, like as I said, I was in Turkey, did a comfort trip, had my local excursion, and then I went and chilled out around the pool. The waitress was bringing me my beer, bringing me my wine. You know, it was just a nice way to travel. I had a Turkish bath as well, which was an experience in itself, and you know, having massages and things at the end of the day. So you know, it's a holiday. So
we've got 7 continents. We've got various price brackets.
Yes.
We've got various levels of adventure.
Yep.
Small group, guaranteed.
Yep.
Leaving. So when you say you don't have to be super fit or rough it, just give us some of the ideas of the themes. Yeah.
So, for example, we've got so much product, something for absolutely everybody, but we know some people have specialist interests. So they may really be interested in wildlife, for example. So we've got lots of safaris in Africa. We've got our own 2 ships in the Galapagos Islands, tigers in India, Amazon rainforest, obviously Antarctica and the Arctic, penguins and polar bears. But also some of the themes got trips for 18 to 29-year-olds. Yeah. So if any of you out there, or if you know anyone that's a young person wanting to travel with young people, I don't know if we'll fit in the 18 to 29 bracket anymore, will we? Oh, no, I haven't been for a while either, don't worry. You know, we have those trips. But I mean, one of my favourites, and which is really popular, is food. Yeah. Guessing you like to eat and drink when you go on holiday?
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Yeah. And it's just so nice. So throughout Europe, for example, you'd be going to Spain and going to local tapas bars, tapas restaurants, and really getting to know about the local cuisine, sampling the local food, and learning about it as well. Southeast Asia, you might go to Thailand. Go to a family, go to like the floating markets, buy all the local produce, come back and cook the food with a local family, and just traveling around. And food is such a big part of people's culture as well.
So it's not all adventure and active.
No, it's not.
There is the cycling, and there is the walking and trekking, and the polar and the expeditions.
Yeah, so we've just got a bit of everything. So it's for people that just, so we want that immersive experience, but it is comfortable, it is some a really slow pace and really, really enjoyable, and any customer of any age would enjoy.
So on the family theme, what's your bestseller at the moment for families?
Best sellers, so some of the most popular ones are Morocco. So it's worth pointing out for our family trips, children as young as 5 can come on our family experiences. And we have teenage-specific itineraries as well. So it does vary on the trip, where was the most popular. But Morocco is huge. Got an 8-day trip, which includes excursions, your local leader, your accommodation transfers. And for a child, it's about £350. For a grown-up, about £420 for an 8-day tour. So really good value for money. And it's just a really great way for the kids to learn and experience other cultures without realizing they're learning. They're having fun, they're meeting kids, hanging around with kids of a similar age, the grown-ups, and as well, just in a safe way.
Not just British kids, I'm guessing. Those booked from all over the world.
100%. So we've got an office in Australia, an office in New Zealand, Canada, and we get some Europeans as well, and so they get to make friends, and I say pen pals, but probably Facebook friends, from all around the world, and it's just a really nice experience for the whole family, grown-ups and the kids.
What I think is also really nice, a lot of our clients who were backpackers in the day, you don't have to give up your backpack just because you've got children.
Exactly. So
from 5 years and above, you can go to China, you can go to Peru,
for sure.
You can go to Vietnam.
So all you grown-ups out there that don't want to be stuck at a mini disco dancing with a giant dolphin or shark, we do have lots of amazing trips for you to go and experience that with the kids. Another couple of really popular ones are with the wildlife. So I've mentioned Costa Rica, orangutans in Borneo. We've got a great one for teenagers in Turkey. We've got one in Andorra as well, with lots of cycling, hiking and stuff. So
I think it's also important to mention that it's not just these faraway destinations like the Balis that you mentioned, the Perus and the Vietnams. There are some closer to home adventurous.
So lots of amazing trips in Europe. So you've got short flights, which sometimes are easy, especially for the kids. Flying down to Morocco or Spain or Italy. As well as other, go further afield as well. So.
And the brochures are all on our website at Travel Designers, so feel free to look in the brochure area and look at all the different themes available through Intrepid and us. Now, I know you're very keen on responsible travel.
Yes.
As a company, which is great, and sustainability. Would you like to tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so we really pride ourselves on being the most responsible and sustainable travel company in the world. We've been carbon offsetting our trips for over a decade. We've got reforestation projects in Borneo, wind turbines in India, a new project in Australia at the moment where we're planting seaweed and kelp platforms that affect the temperature of the sea, which obviously is a huge important factor at the moment with global warming and the climate crisis. So next year we'll be the first climate positive travel company in the world. Which is really important to know that if you're traveling with us, you're not only, travel is going to leave a footprint, there's no denying that, but if you want, we're not only offsetting, we're putting more back in to do more for the planet.
But also by employing locals as well, so
exactly.
Local leaders and providing that expertise and knowledge.
100%.
And then taking our clients where the locals would eat, off the beaten track a bit more.
Yeah.
It all helps, doesn't it?
100%. So we employ the local leaders, we use local properties, we have the Intrepid Foundation as well. So the foundation has been running since, since 2002. Since then, we've raised over $3.3 million, and Intrepid will match dollar for dollar, pound for pound, what the foundation raises. So actually it's over $6.5 million, which is given back to local projects, given back to local people. And some of them are phenomenal. We're really changing people's lives and making the world a better place for these people. And we were the first company in the world to ban elephant riding as well, which I know is very important to a lot of people. And if you're watching this and you have ridden an elephant, don't feel too bad. I've definitely got a picture of me wearing a West Ham football shirt on the back of an elephant with a beer in my hand back in my backpacking days. But it's all about learning and realizing the impact that we're having in the destinations and making those positive changes. And fixing it. Yeah. So, one of my favorite projects is one called the Project Orange Elephant. It's really amazing. So basically in Sri Lanka, there's an issue with conflict between the farmers and elephants. And so what we've done, we've partnered with a local organisation, and we've worked out that the elephants hate citrus. So what we've done is we've planted oranges, lemons and limes with the farmers. So when the elephants come walking through, they will smell the citrus and actually go in the opposite direction. So it saves any conflict between the elephants and the humans, which has been, quite sad, some of the situations. So that's saving, the conflict. But then not only that, we've partnered with the biggest supermarket chain in Sri Lanka, and they only buy their citrus fruits from the farmers. So now it's giving them a whole new source of income, really helping benefit their lives, and also working with wildlife as well. So, and we've got hundreds, lots of different projects all around the world and supporting local people. So I'm really, really proud to work for a company that does all the good we do.
We're all trying to do our little bit.
Exactly, and it can be hard, exactly.
Steps forward.
Yes,
That's great.
Yeah.
Now, one really big group around here is cycling.
Yes.
Cyclists.
Yeah.
Now, I know lots of charity cycles, lots of charity walks. If anyone out there is thinking about raising money, whether it's a long cycle trip or a trek, again, book through us. We can look at charity fundraising.
100%. So one thing to bear in mind that if you like the sound of our travel and what we do as a business and our trips, but you still don't want to travel as a group, we can tailor make absolutely everything bespoke for what you want to do. As long as you want to have this sort of local experience, then we can make that happen and tailor it to what you want to do. But yeah, the charity treks is a huge one. So, or big groups, if you and your friends want to climb Kilimanjaro or Everest Base Camp or do the Inca Trail and raise money for a charity, we're a great place to come, just because we can provide the tour and give you the price for the tour, and then everything that you then want to raise, you can raise the money for the charity and those good causes, and how much exactly is going to the charity where you want it to go. But that can be anything from cycling trips. We've got amazing active tours. I've just had a gentleman come back and he was telling me there was a guy who was in his late 60s, and he was cycling his bike, and we always have a local leader at the front and a local leader at the back, with the safety car as well. And he was basically cycling along, would get to the bottom of the hill, get off, have a cigarette, jump in the safety car, get taken to the top of the hill, have a cigarette, have a photo, and then carry on his journey. So you don't have to be super fit. You just, obviously, this once you have to have a certain level of fitness. But if we want the great outdoors and that's the type of thing you're into, then we've definitely got you covered there and can take good care of you.
That's a really important thing to mention. It's not all about roughing it and active and adventure.
Exactly.
There's something for everyone.
100%. Yeah.
So if Intrepid suits you, whether it's family or food tour, cycling, trekking, polar, please do get in touch with us at Travel Designers on 0207 720 8484 or email us here at info@traveldesigners.co.uk. I think we've covered virtually everything.
We've given it a good go. There's probably a lot more that we could talk about, but we'd be here all day.
Is there anything new that we need to know about? I know some new brochures are coming out, so do look at the website. All the brochures are on our Travel Designers website.
Yeah, so we've got some brand new brochures that are on the Travel Designers website, so please check those out. Have a little look through those. We always have lots of exciting discounts and things coming up throughout the year, so it's always worth chatting to you guys about those. But just remember, we have product for absolutely everyone. So if you want a fantastic holiday, fantastic experience, then speak to Travel Designers and they'll point you in the right direction. So
Matt, thank you very much for coming in.
Oh, no worries. Thank you for having me. I got here in the end,
That's lovely. So I hope you've enjoyed that Intrepid video. We've got a couple of weeks off of Facebook Live. The next one is on the 14th of November, where we're going to be talking Santa's Lapland. Carol will be discussing that with Charlotte from Onions. So once again, Matt, thank you very much.
No worries, thank you.
Love the product, love what you're doing. Let's get some lovely inquiries in for you.
Perfect.
Thank you very much.
Cool. Cheers, guys.
Bye-bye.